Greetings everyone, Agion here, another company heroes to replay. Spawn on the south side as the blue austere, we have GG the Machine from the General's Gentleman. Spawn on the north side as the red USF, we have Prabuty. Prabuty. Beauty? One of those things where you just look at the name, it looks simple, but when we actually try to pronounce it, it's not simple. We got a rifleman opener. We do got the MG42 plus tier 1. Pretty much everything is standard. Both of them got the inward spawn, not the outward spawn. No, or that actually seems a bit central. Did they actually change it so they separate the maps? I think they actually did separate the 1v1 and 2v2 maps. Because beforehand, if you get the far spawn, it's basically pretty much a lose because the amount of extra movement speed is quite significant. So we got the MG42 eyeing for this upwards direction. Pioneers capturing up the leftwards. And we got the Grenadiers heading to support the MG. Over here looks like just riflemen, no doctrinal lock-ins. We have potential of mechanized company. The mortar half-track seems like a good option on this map. And speaking of which, it is mechanized company. And we could go see Jaeger armor. Probably not, that's more of a 2v2 doctrine. German infantry, likely, or Lightning War. Lightning War or infantry seems like the best option. Lightning War, of course, allows access to the Tiger tank. MG42 set up a nice position. We'll suppress anything coming from this direction, and we'll cover a significant amount over here. Riflemen are over here. We do got some more squads of Grenadiers, as well as a 251. Most likely eyeing to pick up this squad of riflemen. So this is going to be quite aggressive. It's not exactly as effective versus Austere since they have access to Panzerfaust immediately, unlike the Volksgrenadier. And we got the first engagement on the game. No cover here. Some of the models may be in cover, but not all of them. MG42 reposition is suppressing that squad, just barely in radius. Grenadiers trying to capture it, perhaps should move a little bit over this direction in order to able to fire around that line of sight blocker. It looks like this Grenadier squad will get overwhelmed, though they did do a significant amount of damage to the Rifleman squad. 251 now being upgraded with the 50 cal, and we do got a nice cutoff point here, but he's actually going to capture those points entirely, so cutting it off is not super important. Same thing as here, no points to cut off. New squad of Grenadiers. This squad is reinforcing, or soon to be reinforcing. He could go ahead and reposition around this tier 1 structure in order to reinforce while in combat. Pioneers moving on forward, skirting around, will be warded away by the Rifleman squad. 251 not garrison, but does have the 50 cal upgraded. Grenadiers in a very good position will most likely ward away the rear echelon, no problem. The Wounded Rifleman squad will also fall back. This squad has a little been forgotten about, is upgrading with tier 1.
The enemy is taking our territory.
MG42 gains some great suppression, does suppress 2 of the squads. 251's eyeing for a flanking run, but the Grenadiers here on the flank will ward away any sort of Faust and will force a retreat back on both squads.
Ambulance taking the field.
Ambulance on the field, so we will have some healing for the USF player. We do got the mechanized company coming out, most likely for a 222. Could see a 251, but that's a bit more of a rarer option.
Attempting to steal our sector.
MG42 trying to set up once again. This Rifleman squad is pretty wounded. It's about a 50-50 chance of who will win in between engagement with these two, but the suppression will make it an easy win. The MG42 is receiving quite a bit of damage from the WC51. Both Grenadiers a little bit being grouped together. Perhaps he could split them up. He's facing against USF. He doesn't have to worry about mines all too much unless you see the assault engineers, or see a doctrine that doesn't have the riflemen field defenses, but he sees the 251, which means he knows the doctrine that doesn't have it. There is a 222 out on the build queue, which will be a hard counter to the 251.
We are losing a sector.
Even good damage.
Now open. Fire at will.
Two now out, immediately activated the focus fire, the target vehicles only, so he's hunting down the WC-51. The Grenadier squad here does withdraw. He does upgrade his medical bunker. He kept these units back just so they get healed up. The MG-42 and Grenadier are now almost fully healed. The Pioneers luckily being healed last, because that's the least important squad. And just 2-2-1 will find this Rifleman squad in negative ground. He's trying to body block them around. He's trying to force the Grenadiers from not capturing up that point. The USF player is capturing up the right side. 251 does pop on in. 2 bazookas have been picked up by the rear echelon. And will ward away the 222. Panzer Grenadier is out on the build queue, and the Flamer has been dropped for the Pioneer. The Flamer is a bit unique option. It's a bit open of a map, but he doesn't really have to worry about sweeping for mines. I would assume that the LMGs would probably be a bit better upgrade rather than the Flamer upgrade. MG-42 and Grenadiers capture up this point. Rifleman trying to stay on back. There's some light cover there. He could use heavy cover right there, but the MG-42 does not have that area covered, actually. But Paul just needs to reposition in range. Looks like he's going to go ahead and die to 251. Receives 2 bazooka hits there. Could force fire the ground in order to get, have a chance of hitting it. Does not, however. Mortar half-track on the build, or on the field. Ooh, that bazooka squad super wounded. And this Rifleman squad is prone to being wiped. Does drop one of the models there, which probably does save this Rifleman squad from being wiped. Because that extra model really does matter for damage-wise. Mortar half-track getting some great hits right now. MG-42 will reset up behind this heavy cover, and the Rifleman squad is forced back, being not in any sort of cover and fighting against an LMG. MG-2 is being repaired on up by the Pioneers. Grenadiers moving on forward. We do have the WC-51 now finally being repaired up. And let's see, we do have the Lieutenant. We saw that. Actually, no, we didn't actually see that just yet. And he's also immediately upgraded with the Lieutenant bar upgrade. Or, nope, I think he just actually picked up a couple, because we would see actually an upgrade icon up here. So it looks like the Lieutenant is out, has a single bar. He's probably going for a Steward. No, he's going for a Lieutenant and Captain, making usage of the free officers. Which will give him 5 standard infantry squads out on the field, which is a significant amount, versus just the 3 Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers. Berserker squad eyeing to hit the 222. Does get out of range. Panzer Grenadier squad a bit wounded. Does get some hits there, but probably will not go down. Rifleman over here receiving fire from the 251 and the mortar half-track and a Rifleman squad. Does retreat on back. Lieutenant could get another model, perhaps 2, but will unlikely get the squad wipe. 2 moving back on in, doesn't have any repairs, but no immediate threat to its life. Pioneer squad decides to move on forward to the light cover in order to get their Flamer in range. Though he is pretty wounded, I would recommend retreating back sooner rather than later, just in order to preserve the manpower. 251 is getting hit by the WC5. Mixing up the names left and right. Oh, Pack 40. Pack 40 rolls a miss on the 251. It is a pretty low target size unit.
Our HQ is under attack.
Rifleman squad will get suppressed. Grenadier here has sort of been forgotten about. The cutoff point has been secured. Oh, something just got wiped. The Grenadier squad got wiped. He does have enough manpower to replace it with a Panzergren. He could go for another Pioneer for more repairs, but that's probably a bit too early. But he does not have Battle Phase 2. He may want to eye getting research from Battle Phase 2 sooner rather than later, because he probably can gain access to Panzer IV or Ostwind. Battle Phase 2 is now being researched. He has a bit of manpower. He could sink it into a Grenadier, or say before Panzergren. Mortar half-track engaging the Panzer Grenadier, thanks to the bit of vision. Ooh, that was a white phosphorus round. And the nearby, I was going to say he has a bit of sprint from the nearby 222, but he pushed him back into the white phosphorus. He's hunting down the mortar half-track with the 222. And there's not anything hard counter here. There's potentially one AT rifle grenade. This is a perfect engagement. A bit lucky, I would say, as well. There goes the mortar half-track. The ambulance is going to be next soon. AT gun can't see with the smoke here. Neither can the 222. Puts him some great damage in, but the bazookas are here. And he doesn't get the kill thanks to that smoke from the unit.
Enemies inflicting losses upon us.
He may get a rifleman squad. If he runs it down, he could probably get the kill.
God damn it! Someone get us out of here! That guy waved at me.
It doesn't appear to be. And does retreat on back. There's too much firepower from the squad here, and they're nearly fully healed.
We're losing a capture point.
You got another MG42 on the build queue, eyeing to provide more suppression to all the infantry squads he's fighting against. He definitely has seen the captain squad, I believe, yeah. So he knows about those dual officers, so he knows let's not worry about a pack howitzer, and he killed the mortar half-track. So it's a good idea. Another machine gun helps suppress all these squads. You can build a mortar crew. Build another mortar half-track is always possible, but doesn't really want to spend fuel on anything that's not a tank at this point. I see the incendiary rounds have been queued on up, but the nice focus fire here, and does decrew the HMG entirely in this. That squad will most likely be resecured. He's going to need to rush on forward with his Panzer Grenadiers or something. Perhaps throw a rifle grenade or two. Has resecured it, and I think that's secured. Sometimes the city rounds does provide some more suppression, but it leaves you vulnerable. And if your gunner gets wounded, you can easily be killed. He's laying down some teller mines there. Does he actually have a vision of it? It's pretty far forward. If he's able to plant it, that would be great. We have a major out on the field, so most likely a Sherman will be next. No tech structure just yet. I think Spiner's moving on back to build the tech structure. By the time he gets that completed, he can probably build the Panzer IV, or he can go for an Ostwind. He needs something a bit more anti-infantry. His composition's not as well round out as his opponent. Losing both a Grenadier and the MG42. His opponent, of course, having the 2 free officers, and now the MG42 as well. So the US player, while he's lost the mortar half-track, he's in a still better position, I would say. Speaking about that other MG42, it's way over here. Bazookas engaged by the Grenadier squad. 2 rifleman squads over here engaging the Panzer Grenadier at long range. This Grenadier squad may need to fall back. It's getting pretty low. It's being prone to squad wipe depending on the positioning. Structure is up. Panzer IV perfectly timed.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
And we got the Pack 40 being chased on down. We do got a Flamer squad here, but they're a little bit outgunned. But they do get a model drop, and they're not receiving any sort of fire, so they will get some free damage for the time being. Let's go ahead and jump behind the light cover in between bursts. You got a Panzer IV out in the queue, as well as the Sherman. Just a regular Sherman, no 76mm. But he can build the Dozer Blade, which increases, I think it was a bit of health as well as armor, making it able to absorb 5 shots, or take 5 shots to kill rather than 4, which is quite important. Panzer IV immediately eyeing towards this MG team. No, well, we do see the AT gun. There was an AT gun, and we do see a Pack 40 as well. So both sides have access to an AT gun. Over here, the Rifleman squad will get way overwhelmed. And this MG42 can get overwhelmed, but is dishing out quite a bit of suppression fire. Needs to see a reprioritizing fire to the Pack 4, the M1 AT gun. This Panzer IV is not in a good position. There's a tank here, there's an AT gun here, plus 2 bazookas. This Panzer IV needs to get on out. He may lose that MG42 team. He does lose, in fact. And I think we heard the Rifleman squad go down. Yes, 5 models. So there's now 2 MG42s for the US player. He doesn't need to worry about rebuilding that Rifleman squad because he has the 2 officers, which is 4 infantry squads, more than plenty. We do see a mortar team in order to respond to the captured MG42s. So what option could it be? I think Lightning Orb may be the best option. And the mine. The mine was planted, has been detonated. There is some rear echelons to support some repairs. Panzer IV is on the hunt. He has enough health to withstand 3 shots with this number of bazookas here, no longer. And he's going to have to fall back. He can't risk it. Whoa! That must have been the most lucky shots in a long time, because that rifle, that's a pretty well spread out squad. AT gun here. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. I'm surprised that that rear echelon squad died like that. Seemed a little bit unexpected. The 3 models had plenty of health, so they must have had pretty good bursts. We see that one of the models died right here and 2 models were right here, so it must have been just a perfect engagement. Sniper here has no kill, so it did not support anything like that. And that Panzer IV is getting some great hits. It is a bit wounded. AT gun could reposition. Officers can't do much against this. Oh, he probably should fall back. The AT gun here can get 2 shots off very quickly.
AT gun ready.
Another AT gun coming on out. I don't think it was really necessary, but he will have plenty of AT now. He can use the Sherman's HE rounds more often. Major needs to fall back. He does have about 1-star veterancy, so he has access to the improved recon and the improved artillery barrage. Ooh, another great hit. That Panzer IV has been getting some great hits. Dozer Blade has been researched. Doesn't have enough munitions for the Pintle. Act 40 does get a nice hit into there. And looks like a roll of a miss on the Panzer Grenadiers. Oh, there goes a sniper. That sniper did not last very long. Ironeers apparently have picked up a bazooka, and now the Panzer IV will get some good damage here. AT guns move on forward, just barely in range, but rolls a bounce. Sherman tank has engaged. Act 4 is forced on back, way too low in health. Good hits come on the Pioneers. He needs to fall back. He loses it quite quickly. There is enough fuel for another Panzer IV. He also needs another Pioneer squad, which he does have enough for as well. Getting another Grenadier, he needs a Pioneer. There, on the queue now. Doesn't have Battle Phase 3 yet, so no good usage for the Tiger tank. And the usage of the German infantry has long passed unless he wants fragmentation bombs, but overall, Lightning War is probably the best option for him. Bigger armor, unlikely. Spotting scope is quite nice. But the Elephant, don't see that being the go-to right now. So this is a good map for the Elephant. That could have been bad. The captain was actually quite bunched up around that cinder block. Not cinder block, but rubble. There's actually a tank trap there. Bazookas do hit. The Major does have 2 bazookas. These squads are quite bunched up, and that mortar did a great hit right there. MG42 set on up. Panzer Grenadiers skirting around, but they will be spotted by the Sherman tank, and the 3 of the models are quite stacked up. One wrong shot can do a significant amount of damage. But it looks like he went ahead and hit that, aimed for that model. Let's get a model upon retreat. We do got AT gun here, and as well as, ooh, I'm not sure if that was 1 or 2 hits there, but that Panzer IV is super wounded. The Panzer IV cannot go forward, cannot engage that Sherman tank. And there's also another Sherman now out on the field. The Elephant, oh, Lightning War. I was going to say, the Elephant may seems a bit more appealing by the moment, but we do have Lightning War being called on in, and he does have access to now the super close air support as well as the Tiger tank once he escalates to Battle Phase 3. Which he's doing now. By the time that gets researched, he probably has enough for the Tiger tank itself. Pack 40 second up does have reinforcements here. Pioneer super wounded. Good hits, good hits. Faust. Oh, actually, oh, does not go off. So surprised that Faust was able to fire. He was killing the model that was trying to fire it so many times. There are 2 mortars. Is there another mortar half track or something? Maybe it was just quick fire. I don't know. Ooh, does get a model drop right there. Does pick up a bazooka and will run away. Looks like Battle Phase 3 has been researched. He's about a minute and a half away from fuel from the Tiger tank. He needs 230. He has plenty of manpower as well. So it looks like there will be a Tiger tank. Great hits. And that's a straight up squad wipe. Just too many squads upon the retreat path. Even upon that pretty quick retreat, just way too much firepower. Plus, as closer they get to him, the more damage they'll deal. Sherman tank will get a good hit there. And we do got suppression coming out by the MG42. The other MG42 is right here as well. So great amount of suppression coming down on the left flank. And we do have a mass capture coming up from the right side from the allied player. Transport does engage, does blitz out on forward, trying to hunt down that low health one. Does get caught up on the terrain. And rolls a bounce, however. AT guns are here, and they rip apart the... Their rate of fire is way too high, honestly. The 2 shots, they take like a 3-second reload time. It's really quite fast, in which the lower armor austere vehicles, they get ripped apart by the US AT guns. Let me just take a quick look at the mod tools I have open already. And look at the M1 AT guns reload rate. A grenade, probably a bundle grenade. Those actually abandoned and gets the MG42 once again. But yeah, let's see. Anti-tank gun, M1. Reload rate?
We're losing a capture point.
Yeah, when I say 3 seconds, it's actually 2.4 seconds is the maximum, or 2.1 seconds is the minimum. So yeah, those AT guns reload pretty quickly with the aim time of... fire aim time just says 0.125, so it doesn't take very long. Already aim time, that's the same value. Doesn't take so long for the AT guns to aim. Tiger tank is now out, which is very resilient, able to withstand those AT guns a bit better than the Panzer IV. We could see it potentially supporting... Panzer Warfare seems like a really good option. Wipes out the major squad right there, probably been forgotten about. And now a third Sherman tank is now out. The Sherman 76 probably would have been a bit better option, and does decrew the mortar crew there. I was saying before, the Sherman 76 or Jackson probably would have been a better option. Probably did not know that he's facing against Lightning War, and this, he needs to make sure he doesn't get overwhelmed. The turret rotation can be quite slow. Pack 40 is supporting. Get some good hits there. Close air support being called on in. And there goes the Sherman tank. One aircraft does hit the squad. There's a teller mine there. Does detonate the other Sherman tank. Great teller mine placement. Though the airstrikes could have gotten it. But a guaranteed kill is a guaranteed kill. So 2 Shermans are down. He has 1 left. They just built. Jackson or 76 are definitely a bit better. Going to use the Tiger tank to engage at close range. Has AP rounds equipped, but may get hit by fouls. Oh, just out at the edge of the radius. Just needs 1 more shot in there. That a strafe did not make a difference in the engagement. So it will take much longer to repair.
Points are down to 300.
Nice smoke. I always like seeing that smoke barrages thrown out, not just for, even something that's not against MG or is against MG, because it promotes like you're more concerned about vision rather than damage. And great hits on that rifleman squad. Just negative cover there, just ripping them apart. Lieutenant now rushing on forward. Can get in the race circle to prevent the capture. Not a whole lot of cover from the U's. Could use some heavy cover over here if he wants a better engagement spot. Not all these Grenadier models are actually firing. Only 1 of them, apparently. Order team being used to capture. This MG has been put in the building. And the Grenadiers are forced back once again. This MG42 team, re-secured up by the Panzergrens, hasn't set up just yet. Ooh. Panzer Grenadiers are forced back. Another Sherman tank? Like I said before, I disagree with that. The 76 is definitely a better option than Jackson. Good hits. The Tiger tank is always good versus infantry. Less so now, but that doesn't need a nerf for all the heavies.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
Tiger tank will receive fire. There is not enough munitions for like the Sable rounds, but does get 2 rear armor hits there and immediately blitz away. Doesn't want this thing to go down. He understands the rate of fire of those damn things. In which he got 3 hits and pretty quickly. Pioneer's forced withdrawal, probably a good thing so he can repair up his Tiger. Sherman tanks are moving over here. Could see some G43s on the Panzergrenz, but they don't really need it, but it is nice to have. Pack 40 needs to reposition over here. Hasn't repositioned just yet. Right hits upon the Grenadier squad. Doesn't get wiped there. Hit body blocking by his own units. Does get a snare there. 2 more hits until death. No AT guns over here to support the Shermans. Goes ahead and use a combat blitz forward. Does get the kill. And now it's going to probably withdraw. He is a bit wounded. Less than half health. MG42 has not withdrawn. He's pretty low on health. And actually going to stop engage from across the river. Where are those AT guns? This squad in the back is not firing. Could have pushed it forward just to prevent sort of the wounding under his friendly squad. Sherman tank being repaired. Hopefully now he learns he needs a Jackson or a 76.
The capture point is under attack.
Enemy contact!
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Prepare for orders!
What the hell? Where's that coming from? Combat promotion in!
Good hit by the mortar there. Does sniff out damage. Oh! And a squad wipe on the Grenadiers. They must have been a bit too stacked up. You can see 2 of the models right there. Does he capture that point? He needs to withdraw. He can't be losing another squad. There's no chance he can secure it up. Is he going to do a retreat from that side? I'm trying to wait it out so he can retreat later. I'm not sure. Officers now move on forward. We've got a single Grenadier squad, but they are armed with dual bars, so they're going to be a little bit outgunned. Tiger tank move on forward. There's 2 AT guns here. There are at 2, so one's 2-star and 1-star veterancy. Does get some good damage there. And loses another Grenadier squad. Ooh, he's losing too many of his Grenadiers. Another Sherman tank's out on the build. Ooh, great hit by the mortar.
Support is here. Sherman ready.
Tiger tank fires, drops a bar. He can use that. Would love to pick it up with his Grenadier squad, but looks like he's going to go ahead and pick it up with his Pioneer.
Looks like we're getting into the excitement.
And more Shermans.
The capture point is being overrun.
He's been doing a great job of killing off his opponent's Grenadiers, but not in fighting the Tiger.
Make it ready! Mortar pop! Duck and move!
Good hit by the mortar.
Rifle squad ready for action.
Pioneer squad receiving quite a bit of fire, but the Tiger tanks moving forward. Pack 40 does get a nice hit as well. 2 more shots till death. 1 more shot till death. Another dead Sherman. And here could be the next victim. Pack 40 sitting on up. Target weak points was used recently. Probably against this Sherman. And it looks like the MG42 will actually manage to escape.
Enemy tank is cutting us up!
Great hits coming out by the Tiger and the mortar crew. Both AT guns are sitting on up. He can use the focus sight to increase the range. More and more infantry moving on forward. The Pack 40 needs withdrawal. It's at 2 stars of veterancy, so it does get quite a bit more potent with increased rate of fire. Pioneer Squad being focused down, trying to deny the repairs, plus in a more vulnerable state. The supporting Panzer IV is quite important. Oswin probably would have been a bit more dedicated, or Brumbar. Something a bit more dedicated with the infantry, because he's been having trouble with all the infantry, not necessarily with all the Sherman tanks. That Grenadier Squad, it's been forgotten about once again. Great hit by the mortar once again. Perhaps maybe he should get another mortar at this rate.
That's it, fellas. Knock their fucking block off. Germans have 200 points left.
Panzer Grenadiers super wounded. Sherman tank being hunted down. AT guns are back at home. Could see a combat blitz. No, he does not have enough munitions. And there goes another Sherman. It's Panzer IV ready to support, but he's lacking Grenadiers for control. And there goes the captain. He needs to start killing off the squads. He's using the one model for the Panzer Grenadier to capture, trying to stop the ticket bleed. Risky. First sign of trouble, he needs immediately retreat. I wouldn't even try to even capture the decapture the point. He needs to retreat back now. And Panzer Grenadiers will manage to live. Ooh, the MG42 getting killed by the cover. There's 4 windows here. Tiger tank still pretty wounded, hasn't been able to secure it to repair it. There are some pioneers right up and about, but they've been used to capture points. Does get to decapture the central point. He could potentially ski a squad wipe here, but looks like he's going I in order to stop the MG42 being resecured, or not, or maybe yes. Using the models of the Panzer Grenadiers on this team does decrew that crew. He could use this pioneer squad to recapture it up. Riflemen, however, are pushing forward once again. The US player finally has some fuel saved up, so Jackson is definitely his best option, or Sherman 76, as I said multiple times already. Pioneer Squad did manage to capture the central VP, so the VPs are in favor of the Axis player, which means he's counting up. He has less. He's evening out the playing field. He needs to play for the VP game. He has the Tiger tank. He can get another Panzer IV relatively soon, or Ostwind, or Panzerwerfer. Panzerwerfer would be great versus those AT guns. I think the Panzerwerfer may be a better option. But no, he doesn't have the tech structure because he only requires Battle Phase 3. So, yeah, either Panzer IV or Austin will probably be the next vehicle for the austere player.
A capture point is under attack.
Mortar group captured up the cutoff point. If it's cut, is it really a cutoff point? If it's actually cut off nothing.
capture point.
Looks like another fresh rifleman squad. So this MG was resecured by a pioneer squad. Does get some good suppression out. Mania retarget the other one. This one's now pinned. Mortar. Oh, mortar half track has been rebuilt. Great hit right there. This rifleman squad needs to fall back. Next shot could wipe it out. AT guns do fire. Jackson gets a great hit. Vet 3 AT gun. That is a significant amount of anti-tank firepower. He needs a Panzerwerfer now. What with the Austrian mortar? The Austrian mortar could potentially skirt around to this cover here. And White Fox is coming on in.
All done over here. Infantry, dealing with the MG. Squad back. Try to outflank him.
Oh, Panzer IV. I need to hunt down the... Well, we'll definitely get the ambulance. And it gets abandoned.
Light vehicle just got destroyed.
Lines up the shot, and there it goes. Jackson does make its presence known. The Panzer IV will need a withdrawal. Won't be able to tangle with the Jackson anytime soon.
Reinforcements in.
And it's actually going to be a triple cap in favor of the Axis player, so he's counting tickets in his favor. Oh, and the Austria player, or the US player reclaimed the Pack 40. So that's 3 AT guns to take on the Tiger tank and Panzer IV. There's another Panzer IV in the build queue. I do disagree with that.
Our supply line just got cut off.
We do got a teller mine coming on down. Very nice. This MG42, Paul needs withdrawal. There's just too much firepower. He's going to run it down, no problem. He's going to run it towards this Panzer IV, which can do some damage, though he's a bit wounded. Tiger tank, however, moving on forward. He can throw in some AT grenades and take more than 2, but the Jackson is here. Does get a nice hit there. Both AT guns are setting on up. All 3 of them are there. He does get the snare. Bundle grenade or something does take out that squad. I think that was actually the Panzer IV.
Being wiped out.
Great hits coming in. Oh, the Panzer Force will need to be here to cover the withdrawal of the Tiger tank. Multiple good hits, and that's a dead Panzer IV. Great hits with the mortar team.
The enemy is overrunning one.
Sherman taking on the build queue. If he goes for dozers, a dozer upgrade to make it more resilient, that would be a great idea. Another mortar team being built, which is a good idea. He needs some indirect fire to engage those mortar teams, or those AT gun teams. Jackson goes way too far forward with a Panzer IV rolls a miss. Jackson rolls a miss. And there we go, first pen.
What the hell am I meant to
Wow, that Panzer Grenadier is super wounded.
Those are cracking over our heads, goddammit!
Cavalry has arrived. Form up.
Oh, something was dropped there, another bar.
Sherman ready.
Should Panzer Grenadiers pick up bars? It's one of those things where they have already a pretty good weapon. Sort of a equal weapon, really, but I think it does provide them a bit of a damage buff. Panzer IV here, probably should turn off prioritize fire. No, it looks like we'll go ahead and manually fire. Pack 40 setting it up. Will roll a miss.
Gun mounted.
We got these riflemen over here. They're engaging this mortar team. Both mortar teams are here, so he needs to get these guys out of here. This one may get decrewed, has only 2 members to the left, and a negative ground, so it does get decrewed. Panzer Grenadiers are here to support, as well as MG42. And ooh, good hit by the Sherman tank. There is a Tellermine here. And he's very close to close air support, so Tellermine plus close air support, which probably would result in a dead Sherman tank as long as he has vision of it. But with the Pinto mount it has, vision is actually quite easy to come by. Oh, just barely misses the Teller. And hits it there, rotating on top of it. Panzer IV now moving on the hunt, but there are multiple AT guns here. There are 4 shots, potential shots here, plus a 5th one here. This Panzer IV can die within an instant if he's not careful. And going in the middle of all the group can be quite good. Jackson hasn't rotated his turret. Sherman tank still takes 2 more hits. And there goes the Panzer IV. I wonder if he'll tech up now. Looks like in the middle of all that, he wiped out another rifleman squad. He hasn't rebuilt his ambulance as well, so there's no healing. He doesn't have the manpower for it. So these AT guns, wounded and cannot be healed. Oh, he has an ambulance on the build queue. Never mind. Looks like we got a 3rd Pioneer squad eyeing for more repairs. And I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Ugh. Rifleman squad unable to advance. There is this MG42. The capture is in favor of the Axis players. The tickets are very similar. 129 versus 132. Mortar group out of range of the MG team to hit it. Then we got the Tiger tank now hitting this lieutenant squad. Oh, great hit there. And Mortar Half-Track has severely wounded the squad. He needs a withdrawal. Do got another super close air support now available. And doesn't appear to have any sort of tech up. He has plenty of fuel for purchasing anything, but he's lacking manpower. After buying that Pack 40 and Pioneer squad. We will see an AT rifle grenade. This may be a dead Tiger tank. No Panzer tactician. He could use the... Wait. Oh no, he managed to ward away the rifleman squad before the rifle grenade come out. And now this airstrike will probably ward away these vehicles. Retreats that MG team before he captured the point. That was a bit of an oversight, I would say. The Tiger tank, what is he? He's trying to hit the mortar half-track, but that is just dangerous.
A capture point is under attack.
Where is his Pioneers? We do got a pair of Pioneers over here. And a 3rd squad over here. So you will have... This tank can be repaired up quite quickly. 3 MG teams.
We're losing a capture point.
This MG42 team is actually quite far forward. We'll get some nice suppression on the squad. As a Grenadier is super wounded, trying to stay in the capture point, does draw the fire of the MG42 with the incendiary rounds for increased suppression. And now the Panzer Grenadier squad needs to withdraw. They're way too low in health, I would say. But it looks like he's going to eye using them to capture up the fuel point. Mortar half-track engaging in with the, what was it, delayed fuse HE barrage. Rifleman being engaged by the Tiger tank will decapture that point. The tickets are counting more and more in favor of the Axis player. Ooh, multiple AT gun hits. It's all three of them there. Jackson gets body block, unable to advance. Plus, there's also a Pack 40 here. Oh, S-mines. And he has no rear echelon for sweepers.
We're getting the help! The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Taking fire! Counter!
Huh. That's all the captain or lieutenant model. I think that's the captain. So that's 3 Thompsons for defense. Ooh, this squad is getting super wounded. Panzer Grenadier is suppressed, unable to support, and that this MG team does get decrewed. Fresh Panzer Grenadier is out on the field and does retreat back immediately. Jackson here engages MG42, decrews the mortar team. Very close to decrewing that MG team. Does not, however. Pack 40 and the Tiger tank does get both penetrating hit. That's a vet-free Pack Tiger tank. There goes down to the Pack 40.
We just lost a medium tank. We're bleeding points like a stuffed pig.
And with the combat bullets it gained for the increased accuracy, he's trying to move forward the AT guns and Jackson through the smoke, but there are pioneers here. This AT gun will get decrewed. Is he going to try to secure it up? That is very risky and unlikely. Oh, that could have been a whole lot worse as well. In fact, the Pioneers could wipe them upon retreat as they get closer. Nope, the mortar pit claims it.
Just lost a unit.
Race the center!
Only 2 rifleman squads are left. The US player has not a whole lot left. Haven't been able to deal with all the MG teams all too well. Well, he's actually been doing a great job decrewing them all. Ooh, that could be worse. Tiger tank still has plenty of health, could potentially move on forward, but there's 2 AT guns here. 1 penetrating hit there, no snares possible. Pioneers trying to resecure the Pack 40. Panzer Grenadiers needs to fall back.
Allied AT gun has been destroyed.
And main gun destroyed, and continues spotting for the Pack 40. Tiger tank does claim the kill, gets body blocked by his own AT gun. Potentially a bundle grenade?
Lost a unit.
And does decrew the Vet 3 AT gun. That is massive. Pack 40 apparently force firing, trying to destroy those AT guns.
We lost an anti-tank gun. Green as green can be. Well, grab your shit and follow me.
Under fire!
And starting to focus fire does destroy the Pack 40. Pioneer squad can get wiped. MG42 is here to suppress. Doesn't get to capture on the full point. Do got a nice flank here. All the captains here showing how the MG42 is supposed to fire. Oh. Tiger tank is pretty wounded. But there's going to be bazookas on the flank. The Jackson has not rotated its turret just yet. Does use the combat bullets. Great hits by the bazookas. 2 more shots till death. 1 more shot till death. Tiger tank gets run straight into trees, unable to crush them. Lines up a shot and fires, and there goes the Jackson. How many vehicles has the Tiger tank killed? 4. Jeez. Pack 40 did some serious work to support it as well. Mass retreat by the... Oh, so low. Even a M7 Light AT mine can kill off the Tiger tank at this point. There's a capture in favor of the Allies, and you can't be afford to lose it. There is some room to play with for the Axis player. He has still above 100 tickets. Mortar team will get decrewed? Guess not. Not really focusing it. He does have 3 Pioneers still, which means a lot of repairs. Auto grenade was unsuccessful. May get a squad wipe depending on. Nope, he's fine going across all the light cover, not any of the negative cover.
We're taking lead over here!
A capture point is under attack. What the hell am I meant to do with
And the MG42 will actually escape on out of it. Very low in health, but alive, and still at 3 stars of veterancy.
They're down to 100 points.
Training and discipline! Use it!
Crowds are sniffing.
Tiger tank moving on forward. 3 stars of veterancy will give him pretty good rate of fire and pretty reduced scatter. Half-tracks do fire, but not any good targets for him. The mortar half-track's just out of range.
Earn a promotion.
Trying to outflank him! The dogs are trying to get us!
Those incendiary rounds coming on out for the... Nope, that was just a regular reload. I saw the reload animation soon because incendiaries.
Grenade, move!
We've fallen to 25 points.
As we got the delayed high explosives, trying to keep secure this point at all costs, trying to force the win now. He's actually decaptured this point over here, which means if his opponent has a double cap against him and soon to be a triple cap. The time frame is very short for the US player in order to stall this. Tiger tank eyeing to stop the rifleman squad from capturing it. Does get the AT rifle grenade, but was unsuccessful. It does outright crush both those models as well. Points now decaptured, and there's the GG.
Moving on the flank. We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped.
Showing that the Tiger tank is still quite effective in this game, and right before the moments right after death for the Panzer Grenadier as well. This